G'day, welcome to Down the Woodworks, and to the first episode or instalment of the new segment that I announced a couple of weeks ago called SAW, which is spotlighting Aussie woodworkers. The first two guys I've chosen are a couple of favourites of mine. I've been following them for quite a while now. I would refer to them as Aussie YouTube battlers because these guys, they don't have very many subscribers, but they certainly deserve a lot more than they have. Yeah, just a couple of knockabout Aussie blokes who are working in their home shed and garage, making some pretty cool projects. Their channel styles are pretty down to earth. What you see is what you get. And these guys may have already been highlighted by Paul when he was running his segment, but I thought it was worthwhile running them again, just in case. They are, like I said, they are a couple of favourites of mine, and also got to consider that I'll have different viewers to Paul, and vice versa. Paul would have had different viewers to me. So the first Aussie YouTuber is Dirk from Sumo's Projects.
G'day folks, welcome to Sumo's Projects.
I've been following Dirk from the very beginning, and yeah, he's just a great guy. He's a real gentleman. He always takes the time to recognise other people, and he's made a lot of friends along the way, both here and overseas. I'd describe Dirk as the gentle giant of the Aussie woodworking community. Yeah, Dirk makes a lot of projects that wouldn't be beyond the capability of the viewers, which is a great thing because hopefully it's inspiring a lot of people to get out in their sheds on the weekend and build something.
So there you go guys, nice little box to store firewood. All this timber was retrieved, I got fence palings from the goldfields in Victoria. The reason I made this, I wanted to make something a little bit more rustic looking. And, you know, it's sort of, the material is representative of the golden era in Australia, Victoria's history. So in saying that, I wanted to redeem all the features such as old nail holes, even the splits in the timber, and the uneven type workmanship.
He also likes to throw in a bit of humour in his videos, which always puts a smile on your face.
Probably going to attach this bit here at the bottom. And as well as that, cut another even smaller bit. This is 40 millimeters. This one's about 20. So the whole purpose is create a bit of a lip, something like that. It goes up against there. So I'll glue that up now. Changed my mind. It's too thin. I use a bit bigger bit. Magazine would stand up on that. I remember my younger days at school. There was this young guy. His nickname was Woody. I think the reason was because he was pretty popular with the girls.
Dirk just released his channel trailer for 2018, and it's pretty good actually. I think he's just showing off his video editing skills, but it's not very long, so I'll give it a run now, and you can have a look. The next Aussie YouTuber is Cuffy from Cuffy's Woodwork. Cuffy just works out of his home garage, but don't let that fool you. Apart from doing some exceptional work, the guy manages to give us all table saw envy. Look at that thing. Also, I think he's probably the only guy who can make the claim of having a homemade 57 Chevy hand plane.
So after building the most awesome hand plane in the world, I finally found a use for it. It's too bloody big for most things, but for what I'm doing here, perfect.
If I was to describe Cuffy, I would say that he's a real craftsman. The insight and knowledge that he has when it comes to woodworking is really worth the time to sit down and watch his videos and listen to what he has to say.
So when thicknessing very thin material like this, it's very important that when you feed it in, you want to bend it as much as you can without breaking it. And the same thing for tailing out.
Where do I put the router bit in relation to the fence? If I put it on this side here, assume that this piece of paper is the bit of timber. It comes through there, hits the cutter, and then, if I can spin it, it pulls it back. Now, if this timber was to splinter and break, as it often does, it's going to break all the way back to this point here. So what you want to do is you want to bring this right up to the tip, to use this part of the fence as a chip breaker. No different to a jointer table, the infeed table of the jointer, or the chip breakers inside a thicknesser. So now when it comes through there, and if it was to splinter, well, it can only splinter out 1/4 of an inch. It's a much better way of doing it.
He recently built a beautiful baby cot for his sister, and you can watch the entire build on his YouTube channel across 23 videos. Now that might sound like a lot, but it is an indication of the amount of detail and information that you can get from that series. It's recommended viewing.
And then I could rough cut them out on the bandsaw and shape them on the router table using a flush trim bit and an MDF template I had made earlier. Always making sure to route down the grain by flipping the template over and taking advantage of the dual bearing on my router bit.
The entire cot is built from Tassie oak and grey gum / rose gum.
So I'll be using this slab of grey gum or rose gum. I'm just going to call it rose gum from now on. It's going to annoy the hell out of me. It says that it's grey gum, but I believe it's rose gum.
Cuffy also has that great dry Aussie humour.
And so there's a bit of Tassie oak. If I put them alongside each other, you can clearly see that there's a distinct difference between them. This is a pink colour, it's a baby cot. Babies are pink, aren't they? So kind of ties in together.
The end result speaks for itself. It's just an absolute high quality, beautiful project. He also built a chest of drawers that doubles as a change table out of Tassie oak to go along with the cot. You can watch that build on his channel as well in a 6 video series. Well, there's our first couple of Aussie YouTubers getting the saw spotlight. I'll leave links in the description below to their channels. Please go and check them out and maybe even subscribe. That brings us to our first viewers project. This one's from Robert Lee. He usually restores antiques and he's been doing that for about 10 years. This is a picture of a pocket knife collection box that he just finished for a friend of his. It's constructed from Huon pine in the case and King Billy pine on the drawer fronts. He's reinforced the miters with red cedar, and he also used the red cedar for the drawer runners and turned the drawer pulls out of it as well. Thanks for that, Robert. It looks great. I just want to make a correction as well. When I first announced the viewers project idea, I inadvertently said that it was for Aussie woodworkers. That wasn't the intention. The viewers project is basically for my viewers. So obviously I have viewers from all over the world, and that part of the segment is open to anybody who is a viewer. So yeah, sorry, you don't need to be just an Aussie for the viewers project. So if any of you guys want to have your projects shown on the segment, please get in touch with me. I'll leave my email address below. Just send me photos or video and a description of the project, and I'll include it in the segment. I also want to say that after thinking about it for a very long time, and to be honest, I was being held back by thoughts of no one would want to buy my t-shirts, I've decided I'll never know if I don't try. So the t-shirts are now available for sale. I've also included the old design as well, if anyone is interested in that one. I'll also leave links in the description below if you want to go and get those. If you purchase any of the t-shirts, a small amount of that does go to me, and that's a great way and another way that you guys can help support the channel. But anyway, I'm very pleased that the first episode of Saw is now under my belt, and I look forward to the next one. But in the meantime, you guys all have a great day.